That's just the treatment we get on Mondays now, Ryan.
We got production value these days?
Production value with a capital P.
Man,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan.
I liked the boom, boom,
It was great. It was great.
How come we don't do that
Queen,
at the stadium
some might say.
anymore?
Why aren't we doing that at the stadium?
I don't know. Like, that's when I think of the Broncos, especially when I was a kid.
Right.
I think of one, Rock and Roll Part 2, which obviously canceled. Can't do that anymore. But two, We Will Rock You in the stadium.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Got too complacent. We're too focused on booing the hometown team now that we can't even boom, boom, cha, we will rock you anymore. Because that's a great point you make, Ryan. It's a great point.
I was hanging out with some Icelandic folk
Let's go.
at the tailgate and at the bar last night.
Wow.
And they were just like every person who comes from another country, like, so wait, why don't the fans all like sing and chant together? I'm like, I don't know. Americans are just we can't get on the same page about anything, you know?
So true.
We'd rather just fight about shit than like come up with a good chant for a player.
That's exactly right.
We're like, whoa, I don't know. I'd rather just debate the quality of Russell Wilson and if he's washed or not.
Right. Forget the exclusive Russell Wilson chant.
Like, what if we just went, Russell Wilson?
Oh my
Wilson.
God. Amazing.
That
we should
hits.
be doing that.
We need to
should
start
be
doing shit like that. So, let's get on our game here, Americans.
Agreed, Ryan. Agreed.
Like Bill's Mafia feels
completely.
like they should be able to start singing chants.
I know. The only chant that these football fans can get going is the terrible chop.
Yeah,
Which, like, you have to be brain dead to do
right.
that one.
And racist.
And racist, which to me are kind of one and the same. But
That is
yeah,
true.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's that would make the game way cooler.
Yeah, it would. Kind of gives me headaches when I watch soccer games. Like they're just chanting the entire.
So soccer
fucking game.
actually has turned it too far.
Yeah, they're a little much.
We don't need, like, when I went to the Rapids game, I had a blast.
Yeah.
And I was, doing the chants that I could pick up and all that stuff, but I was like, just no breaks.
Yeah.
Just gonna do this
It's a
every
lot.
second of the
That's
entire game.
Big commitment.
We could, like, it'd be cool to just stop for 5 minutes.
Yes, absolutely.
Even bands have an intermission.
Absolutely, Ryan. It's so true. You got that voice needs to be refreshed,
Right.
some way, somehow. Milan once was losing, fairly recently, 5-0 on the road, and the fans kept on chanting.
Crazy.
That's
man.
the level of commitment that they have.
We should, yeah. So I'm just saying, like, let's work in 3 or 4 good songs
Not
mid
that
game.
hard. Yeah.
I mean, if we can all count down a play clock together, the
We
opportunities
can
are
do
endless.
anything. I hear these people on the anthem,
We need, like, some sort of. The thing is, there's so many Broncos fans, and getting 70,000 people, like, to even know about something, like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all the small things that happen organically.
It did.
All the small things happened
Did.
organically.
Hockey fans are a little more like-minded.
They're a little sharper and like-minded, no doubt. They're all
Whereas-
part of that niche community.
Like, what's interesting is, like, I go to an Avs game, I get recognized more than when I go to a Broncos game, which makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
But there's so many Broncos fans that even though we're hitting more, like our behind the scenes, our Broncos podcast gets more downloads than any other pod here. We're hitting more people, but we're hitting a much smaller percentage of the overall, Broncos world.
Ding, ding, ding. Wide sleuth.
Yes.
Sloth.
So, like, I get recognized a couple times at the game. Avs game, it's crazy because it's just like it's a really tight knit and, smaller and more together group.
Yeah. Makes sense. More of a niche community.
Also, what made football not to, we're really just like going all the way down the rabbit
I
hole
love
here.
this. I love
What
this.
made football the sport that everyone thinks that they know the most?
It's the compartmentalization. We've talked about this.
What do you mean?
The compartmentalization of every single play.
Every play is quantified.
Yeah. Yeah. First down, second down, third down. We're able to analyze to some extent. Everyone can have an opinion. A
It's
basketball
so bad.
position's not like that. Possession is not like that.
Because like
A hockey shift is not like that.
no, I've put a lot of work into just learning the game more and more any way I can.
Football. This is
Football.
Yeah.
And the more I learn, the more I realize how little I know.
Oh my! You're telling me? Holy cow! I've gone down that rabbit hole time and time and time again to where it almost forces me to take a step back every time.
And this, like, I get it from the fans. I get that, you know, everyone. But, like, the fact that I've put in hours and, like, I just know that these people who just show up on Sundays and think that, you know, they know what's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
I'm not trying to, like, cast stones, but
Yes.
it's just crazy how everyone in the stands has an opinion on every single thing that happens. It's not like that in any other sport.
Well, you remember in my old days of being at the Senior Bowl, I'd hit a bit of a low point like 2 days in because I was like tracking every single play and I'd see people spewing like stupid opinions on Twitter. And one of my rants was everyone wants an opinion. No one wants to put in the work. And that can kind of be how it is in
I think it's
football.
one of the reasons why football's so big.
Oh, 100%.
It's so easy to have
Yes,
a take on
yes.
everything. But what I was saying is, like, the 49ers are just really good on defense. Like, that's
That
allowed
was a
to
good
happen.
defense. That was a good defense. Yeah.
And, like, yeah, sure, could the Broncos' offense have been better? Of course.
Yeah.
But just because a play doesn't work doesn't mean it was a bad play. Sometimes the defense is just really good.
That's exactly right. It's actually 11 on 11, and just one matchup going their way instead of yours can skew the whole thing.
Sure does.
Yeah.
All right, now that I've got an event sesh out, let's get into this Monday Night Football game. First of all, your excitement level, Cowboys Giants.
Oh my! Like as excited as I've been for any game that wasn't Sunday night.
You're lying.
I'm elated. To
Okay, so
watch
they
this
gave Peyton
matchup.
his team on Manningcast. Their Manningcast tonight. Do we know?
Yeah, I believe.
Let's
so.
go.
I saw an ad for it. I hope I'm not misspeaking.
All right.
I was on ESPN Plus. It was the first thing on the upcoming was the Manningcast.
Let's go.
So I don't imagine that's like 2 weeks.
No, and
from
they're
now.
going to give
That should be
they gave Peyton
tonight.
his team. They're going to give Eli his team,
G-man.
and both teams
Yeah, I'm
are going to
excited.
lose for their guy.
Oh, big time.
Oh, are we in lockstep here?
We'll see. I'm actually big on the Giants. Can I just, if I may take a
Los
step back,
Gigantes.
the witching hour at the DMVR bar, nothing
It's so different.
short of a religious experience.
I could not agree more.
Magical. I'm trying to catch like someone's going like, oh, someone's like, oh no. It's like, what screen are you guys looking at? I'm seeing this Vikings comeback. Like, what's happening?
Yes.
Oh, Manningcast, it is.
Let's go.
It was amazing.
It's really a
Amazing,
magical
Ryan.
experience. I really don't know how to explain it to you other than you have to be here.
There's a sense of unity with the whole room as we're like all going crazy about a different game.
Yes, and that's what DNVR is all about. Unity.
That's why we love the NFL. No other league can give us.
Not
give
even
us that.
close.
I mean,
I mean, March Madness once a year for one day.
Yeah, but it's not. A lot of those end up being blowouts.
Nothing compared to it.
No, it doesn't. And the witching hour is... You know what my favorite part of the witching hour is? Broncos
what?
never a part of it. So you just get to soak up the whole
so
thing.
True. It's so true. I know.
Witching
Yeah.
hour at the tailgate yesterday was also really sick.
Yeah, I heard lots of people in the garage watching the...
Yes. People just like cheering against the Chiefs, you know, and so like everyone's going crazy
Oh,
off
man.
that game.
The
My
Raiders
boy.
and- the Raiders and Chiefs were big attractions on the witching hour.
My
I
boy
mean-
Jelani Woods.
Top of the AFC West. Jelani.
RAS superstar. Meanwhile, Greg Dulcich. MIA.
I know.
That stands for missing in action.
He is. I've been contemplating cutting him from a dynasty team.
Also, yesterday, I had the best pun of my life.
Pun. P-U-N, folks, not punt. He wasn't
Oh.
doing punt drills at the tailgate.
That was at the game.
I don't know the point. I thought you were punting.
Oh, no. I had the best pun of my life.
This is the one I was around
To
for.
Dre, yes. Dre said, this Eberflus defense, I don't know about it. And I said, it Ebes and Flus. And I've never been more proud of anything that's ever come out of my mouth. And this motherfucker has the audacity
it was a bit of a reach.
to say that's a reach.
It was a bit of a reach.
Not even close. In fact, I told everyone I know about this moment, and everyone disagrees with you.
I mean, it's sometimes you hear something the first time, but then
It's like the second time you listen to an album.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when you start to appreciate the artistry.
Exactly. I heard the single the first time. I didn't love it, but now that I've heard it 20 more times on the radio, shit, it's pretty catchy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Catchy. I like it.
All right, let's go my big three here. And I am clearly on a train here.
Just a Mac man through and through.
Yes. So Cooper Rush, weirdly competent is what I would call him. I would call him weirdly competent.
Yeah.
He seems like he would suck. Everyone hates the Cowboys, so you want him to suck. He actually doesn't suck. He's weirdly competent. So I'm going Cowboys Moneyline. This is last week on our segment on the DMVR Broncos podcast called This League.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
I might have played a small part in coming up with that.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
I had the take that it's just like whenever you think, you're wrong. If you think something, you're wrong. And so everyone thinks, oh, Cowboys down bad, Giants on the come up, good vibes, Dable. You thought. Cowboys Moneyline -105. Tony Pollard. I really wanted to call him Bernard Pollard for a second there.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard,
Oh, man.
over 40.5 rushing yards. Seems like it's about the point in the season where the Cowboys start to realize that he's way better than Ezekiel Elliott. And
Yeah, I love that time of year.
And they're going to give him a couple big carries. He breaks one for like 30 and
The leaves start to change. The weather starts to get cooler. The Cowboys realize Tony Pollard's the better back.
Yes.
It's just like
pumpkin
that time of year.
spice
Oh,
things
man.
are back around.
Amazing.
Zeke's probably indulging himself on those he's like having some pumpkin bread and PSL in the morning.
Totally.
And then finally, Cooper Rush, weirdly competent, 20 completions.
Come on, let's get there, Coop.
He's going 20 for 30 tonight.
Wow. Okay. Can I tell you a Tony Pollard inspired song I introduced in the art hole on the other side of this here
Is
office?
it Tony Pollard?
No, it's after Eric first was like, you just don't like the Cowboys because they're not starting. He couldn't remember Gucci DiNucci's name. And I was like, oh, sure to get loose. Blame it on the Gooch. And then
Blame it on the nooch, you mean?
And then I let him know that, as far as Tony Pollard goes, ever since I can remember, I've been popping my Pollard, popping my Pollard, popping my Pollard.
That's what they should be singing in the stadium.
I don't know. I don't know why people can't. It's simple, but not everyone can get there. So we are on opposite sides, Ryan. Even though I'm not picking the G, man, I am a Brian Dable believer.
Oh.
A day believer. Dabling it up. Doing some Dable dabs, like all the kids do. So I'm very...
Get out the blowtorch.
Exactly. It's time for some Dable dabs. So 2 of the 3, everything is probable, big 3, are G-Men inspired, and that's Graham Gano over one. When we get Yaya going, it's just the best.
Yaya really appreciates a good butane bit.
True career highlights when we get Yaya going. Graham Gano, don't you know, he went over this number in both of the games against the boys last year. So he's going to do it again. He's going to go over 2 made field goals. The Dable offense with DJ leading the way going to stall out a few times. And that's where we're not a hard sell on that one, huh? Micah Parsons turns out extremely good at getting after quarterbacks.
What a weird line.
I know.
It's really hard to read in this way. At first, I thought it said over 7.5 sacks.
I know. It's really weird.
Wow.
0.75
sure.
sacks. What they're trying to avoid is the old half
sack
sack.
push.
Exactly. So 2 games this year, 2 sacks in both of them. And then dating back
He's
to
on pace
like
for 34.
Yeah, not bad. The last 9 last year, I think he had a sack in every game but 3. So the last 11 or so, we've seen a sack from Parsons basically every single game, and you're getting this at a very modest 135 against a quarterback who's going to struggle with pressure a little bit, and an O-line that's going to struggle quite a bit in containing Micah Parsons. And then give me Saquon over 3.5 receptions. I am a Saquon hater, but he is good at receiving the ball. And Giants don't really have a go-to wide receiver. So that's great. And I'm just going to take that leaning Giants, but not willing to give a pick one way or another. I think these teams are both pretty crappy, and we got to figure it out. It's early still.
There we go. Okay. Should we talk about DraftKings?
DraftKings Sportsbook.
Everybody forgot.
How about that
I was
early
trying to
win
think this-
promotion yesterday, huh?
Hey, it sure didn't happen early, but it was a win.
It took a minute for that to come through. They had many chances to go up early.
Yep.
That sucks, by the way.
Yep.
Oh,
they
it
did.
sucked.
It was a struggle for sure.
But it's nice when it hit.
But it also, you didn't even need the early win token because the Broncos just won the game.
Outright.
Yes, they did. I made a massive mistake, and I forgot to use my early win token. Actually ended up being a positive because I had a 50% profit boost. So I just took the Broncos live and used the 50% profit boost. So I ended up actually profiting
What
more.
odds did you get?
Like plus 150.
Dang, nice. And I mean, my big threes on the tailgate keep going 2-1. Jimmy interception. Cortland Sutton's over was just silly. Silly. And your fourth quarter line? Phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. Fourth quarter line. That's 3 weeks in a row.
We call that the Russ line.
Yep. That's a fun one. And just welcome to the Russell Wilson experience. This is what it feels like.
It won't always be 11 a 10
No,
games,
but that's a really good defense you played.
Oh, it's an
And
extraordinary
Russ
defense.
pulled one out of his ass when they needed it most, and then they won.
Yeah, that's his shtick. And it just the timing of the passing game, they're still figuring it out. That's all I have to say.
Also, a lot of people did not like my tweet where I just said, try to tell you guys Russ is more like John Elway than Peyton Manning. Or I said the Russ experience is more like John Elway than Peyton Manning.
So true.
A lot of revisionist history.
Oh,
People don't remember what it was like with John Elway in the 80s and 90s. Or late 80s to early 90s.
I'm shocked that all the early 20s on Twitter didn't remember the good old Elway days where Dan Reeves had him in shackles for 3 quarters until they were down 2 scores.
Couple examples. John Elway's first ever comeback, down 19-0 in the fourth quarter. Leads 3 touchdown drives at the end to get the dub.
Did people boo then? I would love to know.
1998
There he is.
divisional round against Kansas City, down 10-7 in the fourth quarter. Touchdown drive seals it.
That was that Arrowhead.
The drive. Broncos are down 20-13 in the fourth quarter. Like, that's what Elway was, man.
Yep.
Nothing for 3 quarters, and then the magic. People are like, that's Tebow. I'm like, yeah, it's both.
Oh, wow. Holy shit, that's Tebow. I didn't expect that. In some ways.
Russell Wilson's just Tebow's body with Elway's.
Russell Wilson's arm.
No, I mean, Russ has a cannon arm, and he's very accurate with it most of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
So people are like, Elway scored touchdowns. I'm like, not always. That's for sure.
Oh,
Anyways.
man. Sean G with an all-time comment.
You can actually find that, Steven. Stay with Steven. He said, I had an old VHS titled John Elway's Greatest Comebacks, and it was amazing. That's on YouTube.
Wow.
You can find that on YouTube.
We're watching that tonight.
Sean G says, any value on Charlotte Hornets plus 1,500 to win the Larry O'Brien after the signing of Bonzo Ball this morning? No, it's
Bonzo.
Bonzo.
It's Lonzo, LaMelo, and Bonzo. Those are his three sons. Yeah. Great job by LeVar naming those guys. Bonzo, obviously my favorite of the Ball brothers. And yeah, I do. Frankly, Sean, while you can get that at plus 15 thou, you might want to jump because Bonzo usually moves.
Just bet on the Nuggets, bro.
Moves lines drastically.
Nuggets to win the chip.
What about Ravens to win the chip? No one's thinking of the Ravens, but I'm in on the Ravens, Ryan.
Interesting. Okay.
Edgar Allan Poe style.
I'm not in on that.
Cool.
Put that out there.
Cool.
DraftKings Sportsbook, where you can get in on all of their great deals, the early win tokens, all of that, including a sign-up bonus up to $200. A sign-up bonus up to $1,000.
$1,000.
And also bet 5. Jeez, my head. Bet 5, win $200 in free bets when you bet on any NFL money line using the code DNVR at sign up. Make sure you get over there. Make sure you get in on all of their great boosts and promotions. And make sure you use the code DNVR when you sign up. Of course, age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
Nicely done, Ryan.
All right.
It's that time.
It's that time. What do we got? Dilemma of the day. How to build an MNF SGP, which almost sounds like you're doing the alphabet.
It does. I know.
MNF SGP?
Yeah.
It's different.
Sure does.
Okay. Let's just make sure we know about all the boosts we have here. So, we've got a stepped up boost. A 50% SGPX, also known as SGPP boost.
Right.
Early win for Thursday.
Okay. By the way, the next Thursday night matchup is amazing. Do not see the line. I already guessed my lines. That's how jacked I am for next week, bro.
By the way, Tua, we don't know if he's going to play. That's a problem.
Shoot.
Yeah. Zeke or Saquon to score a TD boosted from minus 250 to plus 100.
That's not bad. That's basically an or bet.
We love an or bet.
We do.
Up Schitt's Creek with a paddle.
Exactly. Not since PJ Fleck have guys loved oars as much as we do over here.
So true. Okay. Let me get in here and flip this thing. So we have to kind of dance around this a little bit because we have different feelings on tonight's game.
Yep. Exactamundo.
What do you feel confident in from a prop standpoint or a touchdown scorer standpoint or that sort of thing?
Okay.
Like, how do you feel about my Cooper Rush completions bet?
Yeah, probably pretty good.
Okay. Let's get that in there.
I mean, I thought that was a good number. Pass completions, 20 plus?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm with it.
Okay.
I'm all in on the Tony Pollard numbers.
Oh, that's good for us.
So go to Tony.
Let's go to Rush.
Over 39.5.
TP Street.
I wouldn't mess with Saquon's.
What do you think about a Daniel Jones rushing prop? Is that pretty high?
I know, and is that because he ran it that one time in prime time?
No, he's actually really athletic. They're like running.
Is he a running
option
quarterback now? Let me see. The game log always gives me a good.
Game log never lies.
Game log does never lie. It's so true. I mean, a lot of trust in scorekeepers. In fairness,
yes, for sure.
Like, as you know, it's a fugazi where the ball is even downed in this sport.
For sure.
So he's been over 20 rushing yards this year. So not great.
So
started off the year last year running his ass off, then slowed it down a little towards the second half of the season, but maybe he's back to running his ass off. Okay, you could talk me into over 19.5, no more than that though.
Fine, let's do it.
And then Receiving props? Go the Saquon route?
Saquon receiving, I could get behind that.
Over 19.5 receiving yards? Or is this where we get aggressive and go over 29.5?
Saquon alternate receiving yards. One good screen.
One good screen. Let's do 29.5 then.
One of my favorite segments on this show. One good screen.
One good screen. I wish it was a more deliberate segment, frankly.
I'm kind of interested in CD Lamb receptions.
That's plus 800.
Wow, that's really high there.
I know, but CD's kind of fallen off. Ever since Judy outclassed him as the best wide receiver of that class, not named Justin Jefferson, he's really fallen into a deep, dark hole. Some are saying he's stuck in a K-hole, actually.
Wow,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. The Benny Cood comment was really sending me for a loop, but
Jerry Jones.
now I've got it. Yep.
Not Jerry Judy.
As long as Jerry Jones thinks he's the GM, Dallas won't do squat. Owner can't be the GM.
Texas? Or no Texas person?
Like from Texas or not?
Squad.
Yeah, that's it's Houston.
Houston. Okay, that's the Houston lingo. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
They're Dub Boys.
Oh gosh, them boys.
Oh, and then we can bonus this up?
Yes,
So then 25% profit boost on this?
I believe so.
So it's 4 legs plus 8 hundo boosted up to plus 1,000 with Cooper Rush over 20 pass completions, Tony Pollard over 39.5 rushing yards, Daniel Jones over 19.5 rushing yards, and Saquon the Barkman over 29.5 receiving yards.
There you
Precisely, yeah.
go. There you go.
Boom. That's how it's done.
It is how it's done. It is how it's done. All right, Dre.
All-time guess the lines tomorrow.
I can't wait for Guess the Lines.
I cannot wait, Ryan.
What's the score? 2-1? Me?
Yes, he won the first 2 weeks, and I made a great comeback last week. So
Cool. All right, Guess the Lines.
it's that time.
It's a pivotal game 4.
Do you guys want to do something winner of Guess the Lines at the end of the year? Loser? You guys want to make a bet?
Are we making a wager for who loses Guess the Lines at the end of the year?
We'll think on it.
We will think on it. Love that.
More tomorrow.
Yes.
All right.
Boom.
We'll catch you guys later.